Hello, friends and colleagues. I'm Bert Johnson, and I'm the president of EUFAMI. I'd like to tell you something about EUFAMI to help mark the occasion of our 20th anniversary. What is EUFAMI? It stands for European Federation of Association of Families of People with Mental Illness. Now that's quite a mouthful, and if we break it down into 5 components, it's European, it's a federation of member associations, and it's concerned with families of people with mental illness. And of the key concept, I think, among those 5 elements, it is the family. Because families are caught up with people having mental illness, but when we think of all the various groups and professions who are concerned with mental illness, whether we think of clinicians or administrators, policymakers, voluntary bodies, it's the family that is so often overlooked. And yet families have great needs, and it's because those needs are unmet that the idea for EUFAMI was originally conceived, a brilliant idea I think, by a lady called Gusta Frønings, who was the head of an association in Flemish Brussels, and she decided to contact other similar bodies to see if they could get together and work together on common ground. And it was out of that brilliant idea that they agreed to organise a congress of other like-minded organisations. That was held in a town called De Haan in Belgium in 1990 and was an enormous success. Some 300 people turned up, took part, Queen Fabiola no less, with her Prime Minister, and out of that they decided that they would organise a proper federation, which occurred in 2 years' time, also in Belgium, and that was the starting point for what is now EUFAMI. At first, 10 countries signed the new statutes which had been prepared, with 17 associations among them. From then on, the organisation took shape and it grew and matured, so that today we have no fewer than 45 associations across Europe from 28 different countries. And they stretch from the Atlantic in the west to Russia in the east, from the Mediterranean up to Scandinavia in the north, and taking in countries right across the continent.
Hast du schon gehört, Martin? EUFAMI hat Jubiläum.
Oi, oi, oi. EUFAMI? Ist das ein Beruhigungsmittel, Lisa?
Oh Martin, EUFAMI ist doch kein Beruhigungsmittel. EUFAMI, das sind die europäischen Familien
mit engagierten Angehörigen von psychisch Kranken?
Genau. Und die beruhigen nicht, sondern die beunruhigen.
Ach so, die beunruhigen die Profis in der Psychiatrie, wenn sie einfach mal gucken kommen, ob ihre psychisch Kranken auch anständig bekümmert werden?
Genau, und das beunruhigt die Profis so, dass die manchmal schon Beruhigungsmittel nehmen müssen.
Schade, dann können die gar nicht mitfeiern. Dann gehen wir für sie hin. Es gibt bestimmt Kuchen.
Oh Martin, du bist echt verfressen.
Gar nicht. Wir bringen einen schönen Blumenstrauß mit. Dann sind die alle ganz beruhigt.
Gute Idee. Ja dann, herzlichen Glückwunsch vom Bundesverband der Angehörigen psychisch Kranker e.V. Deutschland zum 20-jährigen Jubiläum.
Und wo ist der Kuchen?
My name is Bogdan and my message is on behalf of Association Ozara Slovenia. My colleagues, our service users and their relatives are convinced that EUFAMI proves that also the most unbelievable goals are achievable when the people are taking the same path. We are pleased and proud that we are a member of the EUFAMI family, where understanding, warmth, positive thinking and determination to create a better world for people with mental health problems and their relatives are the guiding principles. The EUFAMI We are wishing you all the best for the upcoming years.
Let me say something now about our aims as an organisation. Well, of course, firstly, it is to help promote improvements in the care and treatment and in the quality of life of the people who are actually affected by mental illness. But following from that, we have our own special aims. And firstly, that is to make sure that the role of families is kept prominently in mind in all that is done for people with mental illness. And we do that through supporting our association members. We want to spread good practice, collect examples of that so that they can improve conditions in their own countries. One way of doing that is to lobby policymakers and governments and influential organisations throughout. And finally, never forget that we are concerned to defend the human rights of people affected by mental illness, by which we mean simply that they should be able to enjoy all the privileges and responsibilities of a full life, even while they have a disability.
Hi. Greetings from SHINE, the national organisation supporting families and individuals affected by severe mental health problems in Ireland. As one of the founding member organisations of EUFAMI, we are delighted to be able to congratulate you on achieving 20 years of success. We know that EUFAMI has played an important role in supporting and informing families of people with severe mental health problems right across Europe. We hope that you will have continued success over the next 20 years. Best wishes from Ireland.
Happy Birthday aus Südtirol, liebe EUFAMI. Wir verstehen uns als Sprachrohr für Menschen mit psychischer Erkrankung und ihre Angehörigen. Diese haben keine Lobby und oft nicht die Kraft und die Möglichkeit, für ihre Rechte einzutreten. Auf lokaler politischer Ebene werden wir gefördert und sind als Ansprechpartner anerkannt. Familien werden von Fachleuten zunehmend mit einbezogen, noch aber fehlt das Bewusstsein über ihr Potenzial im Behandlungsprozess. Unser Verband bemüht sich, die Lebensqualität der betroffenen Familien zu verbessern, durch Ferienaktionen für psychisch Erkrankte, Selbsthilfegruppen für Angehörige, Beratung und Unterstützung. Allerdings müssen wir unseren Bekanntheitsgrad noch erhöhen und die territoriale Vertretung ausbauen. Wir leben in einem multikulturellen, aber noch kleinen Gebiet. EUFAMI eröffnet uns eine europäische Perspektive für unseren Auftrag.
So those are our aims. Now how do we set about achieving them? One major way is by organising congresses of all our association members every 4 years. After the Tahan Congress, we held one in Stockholm, then later in Barcelona, then in Colchester, then in Toruń in Poland, and last year in Basel. And that just gives you some idea of how we spread our wings across Europe. We also organise conferences of our own. 3 years ago we were in Vilnius in Lithuania with a special congress on the sensitive and overlooked subject of children with parents who have schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. The forgotten children, we called that. Then 2 years ago we were in Leuven with the World Health Organization on a leadership empowerment conference. And that just gives you an indication of the range of things that we consider together, where we can share experiences and reinforce our sense of being together in a common cause. One of the results of the congresses and conferences we organise can be to allow us to produce literature that will help support our associations and spread good practice. Examples of those are the recent papers we produced on countering stigma and on suicide prevention and the need for comprehensive mental health systems. I think they illustrate that we do tackle the difficult subjects and in a way in which we can give our members material that they can use in their own settings. One of the ways in which we can succeed with our own aims is, of course, through working with other organisations. And over the years, we've succeeded in establishing working links with over 30 important institutions of all kinds, health and social care organisations, policymakers, major international bodies, and clinical and administrative. They include, for example, the World Health Organization, the European Union, the European Psychiatric Association, other like-minded bodies in the field of advocacy, and through their operations and ours, we can ensure that the interest of families of people with mental illness are not overlooked. And that is one of the things that we've been doing and will continue to do. A good example of that is the work we're currently engaged on in working with the World Health Organization's mental health strategies, which we have been making our contribution to and ensuring that our particular perspective is embodied in their final documents.
Grüß Gott aus Salzburg. HPE Österreich gratuliert EUFAMI herzlich zu 20 Jahren engagierter Angehörigenarbeit. EUFAMI stands for solidarity among the family members in Europe. HPE Austria is very proud to be a member of this European alliance and to be fighting for better psychiatric and psychosocial care, because only united are we strong. As the immediate former president, I was involved in EUFAMI's work for 7 years and made the experience that its influence on European mental health policy has constantly increased. However, there is still a great deal to be done. The world around us is changing rapidly. Psychiatry is changing slowly. EUFAMI may never stop bringing fresh and innovative ideas to the European countries. So, I wish EUFAMI ongoing success for the future. Ad multa.
Oh, hi from Portugal. I'm Filipa from Encontrares, and I want to wish a happy birthday to your family and long life to continue your wonderful work.
Through EUFAMI, we have gained a network of like-minded friends whom share their knowledge of best practices throughout Europe, helping us locally to guide our policymakers in the right direction. As an advocacy group, we direct our ideas towards the Ministry of Health, for which we have influenced amendments to the Mental Health Act and helped to improve psychiatric conditions in the law of Malta. Together with EUFAMI, we aspire to network and lobby with other EU countries to reach the goals set for Europe 2020, goals and challenges for a better Europe.
EUFAMI is our extended family. Although an island cut off from mainland Europe, we do not feel isolated, but always supported.
We want to thank EUFAMI for uniting Europe in mental health, because through EUFAMI, the families are heard.
Congratulations, EUFAMI, on your 20th birthday! Yeah!
One of the ways in which we can help both support our member associations and spread good practice is through our own Prospect, a unique peer-to-peer empowerment training initiative which was developed by members themselves and is now being used in 14 countries throughout Europe. Peer-to-peer training emphasises the importance of fresh thinking about jointly understood problems, and it also incorporates people with experience of mental illness as well as those who are affected through their family relationships, and thirdly the professionals who are there to care for them. Like so much of what we do, Prospect is in process of being developed and refreshed and enlarged through initiatives stemming from our own member associations. So in that way we can act as a body which brings together experiences throughout all our member associations in Europe.
Hello, I'm Nadine and I represent Similes Flanders within the board of EUFAMI. Since EUFAMI started in Belgium 20 years ago, I'm very proud of her achievements and I want to congratulate for this 20th anniversary. As a message, I would call for EUFAMI to focus on a wider range of mental illnesses and on the prevention of those illnesses. The Conference of Vilnius in 2009 focused on the forgotten children of mentally ill parents, and it was a great success. Next to me stands Sutking, and she attended that conference, and her mother was mentally ill during her childhood. She wants to express something too. Please.
Because of the mental illness of my mother, I came in contact with EUFAMI. I'm really happy with the things that EUFAMI has already done, and I hope in the future there will be more attention to young children and adults of parents with mental illness. Happy birthday, EUFAMI!
Καλησπέρα φίλοι και συνεργάτες της EUFAMI. Εκπροσωπούμε το Πανελλήνιο Σύλλογο Οικογενειών για την Ψυχική Υγεία, που είναι ένα μη κερδοσκοπικό σωματείο που ιδρύθηκε το 1993. Ο ΣΟΠΣΙ στηρίζει τους συγγενείς των ατόμων που πάσχουν από κάποια ψυχική νόσο, όπως σχιζοφρένεια και διπολική διαταραχή. Ο κύριος σκοπός μας είναι η στήριξη των οικογενειών των ψυχικά ασθενών και η υπεύθυνη ενημέρωσή τους για τις ψυχικές νόσους και το στίγμα που τις ακολουθεί. Αυτόν τον καιρό στην Ελλάδα, εξαιτίας της οικονομικής κρίσης, η οποία μετουσιώνεται και σε ψυχιατρική, δυσκολευόμαστε να φέρουμε εις πέρας με απόλυτη επιτυχία τους παραπάνω σκοπούς του Συλλόγου. Εξαιτίας των τεράστιων οικονομικών προβλημάτων, το ζήτημα της ψυχικής υποστήριξης είναι κέρια σημασίας. Το έργο των υπηρεσιών ψυχικής υγείας που παρέχεται από το ΣΟΠΣΙ αντιμετωπίζει όλο και περισσότερα εμπόδια και υπάρχουν τεράστιες καθυστερήσεις στις πληρωμές των άμεσων αναγκών τόσο των εργαζομένων όσο και των ληπτών ψυχικής υγείας. Ελπίζουμε αυτό το οικονομικό πρόβλημα που μαστίζει όλους μας να είναι παροδικό. Ευχόμαστε να έχουμε πάντα τη στήριξη της EUFAMI και τη συνέχιση της καλής μας συνεργασίας.
Hola a todos y a todas. Desde la Confederación FEAFES y las 288 asociaciones que forman parte de nuestro colectivo, queremos felicitar en estos 20 años a EUFAMI por su trabajo. Es verdad que nosotros hemos realizado, de esta Confederación FEAFES, alianzas con nuestros socios europeos, incluido EUFAMI, realizando programas que llevan a mejorar la calidad de vida de las personas con enfermedad mental y sus familias. En estos tiempos difíciles es verdad que tenemos que ahorrar y dar adecuadamente atención a las personas que tienen problemas de salud mental, incluidas las familias, y disminuir la carga que sufren durante estos periodos. Seguiremos trabajando y realizando campañas de sensibilización, lucha contra el estigma y discriminación para sensibilizar a la población, tanto española como europea, e informar a las familias y a las personas que tienen problemas de salud mental de los derechos que les asisten. Muchas felicidades EUFAMI de estos 20 años.
This is Bedre Psykiatri from Denmark. Just as EUFAMI, Bedre Psykiatri is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year.
And we would like to send the best regards to this anniversary of EUFAMI. We are here in Odense to the general meeting of Bedre Psykiatri.
And we are preparing for our campaign campaigns for the future years and discussing our reception on the 20th of November, where we have invited the famous Mr. McFarlane.
And we would like to send the best regards to the staff members.
En jubilæumshilsen fra Bedre Psykiatri Danmark.
Mit navn det er Hans Bering. Jeg kommer også fra Bedre Psykiatri Danmark, og jeg vil også godt sende de bedste hilsner til EUFAMI.
I mentioned earlier our Congress in Basel last autumn, and its theme was the move from hospital care to care in community settings. And we gave it the title Community Care, a Blessing or a Curse. That was one way of expressing the fact that so much of care in the community is in fact family care. Now we agree that moving from hospital care to community care is indeed a good policy which is being pursued right across the continent at different speeds and at different levels. We must be concerned that the family dimension of care is properly considered. And that is why we're doing some research right now to assess the needs of people, whether they are acute psychiatric needs or social needs for housing and benefits and education and so on, where those needs can best be met, whether it's in a hospital setting, psychiatric hospital or in a general hospital, or indeed in the community, which might be among general practitioners or voluntary bodies, but usually within the family. We're doing research on that to bring out the facts from our associations across the continent so that we can then assess how the policy is being applied and in what ways it can be done better in different settings.
EUFAMI on luonut upean Prospect-vertaistuki-ryhmämallin psyykkisesti sairastuneiden omaisille. Tätä mallia, ohjelmaa käytetään aktiivisesti FinFamin jäsenjärjestöissä. Prospect on ainutlaatuinen.
Prospect on loistava matka omaisena olemisen rinnalla ja omaisen omaan selviytymiseen.
Yhteistyö EUFAMin ja FinFamin välillä on ollut hyvin antoisaa ja toivomme sen jatkuvan edelleen. Suomessa toteutamme Prospektia suomen ja ruotsin kielellä.
Hyvää syntymäpäivää, EUFAMI! Happy birthday to EUFAMI!
Hello, I'm Paul Jenkins from Rethink Mental Illness, and I've got great pleasure in wishing EUFAMI a very happy 20th birthday. We in Rethink Mental Illness, or formerly the National Schizophrenia Fellowship, have been members of EUFAMI right from its very start in 1992. We've always appreciated both staff and members of our organisation the chance to come together with others who are dealing with the impact of the same issues that affect families with severe mental illness. We think there's an awful lot of value in finding that common cause and in talking about those shared issues, despite the differences in our different systems. We really appreciate the role that EUFAMI plays in championing our cause with European bodies such as the European Commission and the World Health Organization. And we think that EUFAMI has a really important role to play in the future as mental health services both develop across Europe but also deal with the consequences of the austerity that is affecting countries all over Europe. So these are challenging times. We need to stick together. We wish EUFAMI a very happy birthday and we look forward to the next 20 years.
I've said something about how EUFAMI came into being, how it's grown and developed, what our aims are and how we're setting about them. What of the future? What is our work plan for the coming year? Well, our main event in 2013 is going to be another of our conferences, this time in Dublin. It's going to take place on the 24th of May and we very much hope that as many people as possible will be able to attend. The title of the conference will be A Perfect Vision for Mental Health in 2020, and we are very hopeful that senior figures from the Republic of Ireland will be there to welcome us and to enable us to take forward the work that we've been doing so far. Well, also over the coming year we shall be continuing with all the activities which I referred to earlier, and in particular I would just mention a major piece of research that we shall be conducting with the University of Leuven into the impact of care on families themselves.
Hello from the Greek Association Kinapsi. We would like to wish to EUFAMI happy birthday and all the best for the family movement for the years to come.
Vi gratulerar vår syster i Europa att bli 20 år. Genom EUFAMI lär vi känna många organisationer liknande vår egen. Vi får därför perspektiv på våra egna frågor.
Som personer med egen erfarenhet har vår roll i vården stärkts de senaste åren.
De anhöriga närstående har också fått mer uppmärksamhet.
Ett stort projekt är Hjärnkoll. Personer med egen erfarenhet och anhöriga blir ambassadörer för att ändra attityder till psykisk ohälsa. Vi gratulerar vår syster i Europa att bli 20 år.
So may I just conclude therefore by saying that our commitment at EUFAMI to our family associations remains as firm and as strong as ever. I'd like to thank our supporters and our friends for all their help. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you on behalf of families affected by mental illness throughout Europe. Thank you.